Mickey and Minutes has partnered with Beta Stroller Rental to bring you a great discount. Going to Walt Disney World with the family this summer to check out the new Rockin' roller coaster starring the Muppets? Check out betastroller.com and use code MIM10 at checkout for 10% off your order. That's MIM10. Now, on to the show. Hey, and welcome to the Mickey and Minutes Podcast. Quick conversations, information, and inspiration. I'm your host, Nick Lazaga, and I hope you enjoy this episode of The Short Disney Show. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Mickey in Minutes Podcast. This is Season 8, Episode 4, Muppets Rockin' Playlist. And I've got a really great show for you guys today because it's something I've just been stoked about, talking about in general. And I kind of alluded to this on the last Mid-Monday that I was ready to talk about this. I also alluded to the fact that I was going to bring a friend on the show. Let's everybody welcome one of my best friends of all time, Jake D.
Hey, how's it going, Nick? Thank you so much for having me back on the show. I'm super duper excited to talk about the Muppets today.
Dude, yes, anytime. So if you've been listening to the Mickey in Minutes podcast for a couple years now, this is Jake's third time on the show. Technically two, but one of those was split into like a two-parter, right? Yeah. So we talked about like our cover songs, right? And then we talked about our vinyl collections, and that one was a two-parter.
Yeah, and then actually Nick joined me and my podcasting partner Elliot on my show Sippin Mimos. So this is if we're going canon, this is our fourth appearance on air together.
This is our fourth time together. Yes. So yeah, please check out Jake D's podcast, Sippin Mimos. Tell me really quick, what is that show?
Thank you. Sippin Mimos is a passion project with me and my buddy Elliot, where we talk about rock and electronica albums. We started talking, about 90s albums, but we've kind of started branching out and talking about early 2000s and beyond. So if you're a fan of, artists like Daft Punk, Chemical Brothers, Sugar Ray, Lit, Korn, etc.
I love me some Sugar Ray.
Give us a follow. I think you'll enjoy it.
Dude. Oh yeah. So, so happy to have you back on here. Guys, go check out any of the episodes on Mickey in Minutes with Jake D, or go back and listen to the episode I was on his podcast. We talked about 90s Disney songs, and it was Chef Kiss. It was fantastic.
Oh, yeah. It was killer.
So our topic today, guys, is Muppets. It's rock and roller coaster. It's rock and roll music, which is why I brought Jake on, because I feel like Jake is an encyclopedia of music. Anytime I have a music question, Jake is the guy I text for anything, really. And I know he's always going to come through no matter what the genre, no matter what the year. Jake D knows it.
Yeah, man. This is two subjects that I absolutely love: rock and roll and the Muppets. Super excited, super honored to do it. So let's dive in. What do you think?
Let's dive right on in. So if you don't know, the Muppets are taking over the classic attraction Rock and Roller Coaster over at Hollywood Studios. So that attraction originally opened on July 29th, 1999, and it originally featured Aerosmith. Jake, are you a big Aerosmith fan, or what do you think of Aerosmith?
I kind of love Aerosmith.
Who doesn't, right?
I know. I mean, I think that stems from Wayne's World 2 back in the day when they played Waynestock. I mean, there's just so many iconic songs and such an iconic frontman in Steven Tyler, and honestly, a sideman in Joe Perry. They're kind of like the American Mick Jagger and Keith Richards.
Right. They were famous just in their own right for so long. And then I feel like they had a resurgence in the 90s with the movie Armageddon, right?
Oh, yes.
I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. That song was humongous. And that's around the same time that Disney tapped them to do Rock and Roller Coaster. And of course, the story of that attraction was that you were entering G-Force Records, and they were in there cutting a record, I guess, right? You walk into the studio and you see them in the booth. They're listening to a playback of Walk This Way. And then, of course, the sound engineer And the sound engineer, remember who that guy was? He was
Ken Marino
Ken Marino. Yes, man.
from Wet Hot American Summer and a
Party
bunch of
Down.
other. Yeah, Party Down. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. So of course he was there, just being awesome. And so as the story goes, they're running late to a concert. Their manager walks in and they order a super stretch limo to take us, the VIPs, the fans, to their concert. And then you boarded that super stretch limo and you rode this amazing roller coaster in the dark with all these icons of like California and Los Angeles and road signs. And it was just so much fun. Do you remember riding this ride, Jake?
I love this ride. I have to shout out the band's manager for getting the stretch limo. The actor's name is Ileana Douglas, which if you're a Martin Scorsese fan, she was in Cape Fear. She was in Goodfellas.
Yep.
Awesome actor. And I remember seeing her and being like, oh, that's from Goodfellas, No, this was one of my favorite rides, pretty much in all of Disney World. I loved, being such a music nerd growing up. It was so exciting and so cool to walk into G4 Studios and see
Dude, yes.
the records on the wall. It felt like a real studio. The Imagineers absolutely crushed it with that. It was really, really, really cool. And then it was always kind of like we would secure the fast pass for Rock and Roller Coaster and then ride Tower of Terror and then run right over. That was always our go-to. Tons of memories.
Sunset Boulevard area right there at Studios just slapped in the 90s, and that was part of the thing. They put both those attractions to try to get that younger audience who wanted to experience some more thrill attractions. And I've been saying on the show for a while, ever since they announced the closure of Rock and Roller Coaster, how heartbroken I am about it, because I've always said this is such a formative attraction for me. It's one of those attractions that, I was a kid and I was into rock music, but this got me like into wanting to perform, wanting to play. And of course, I became a musician, and Jake became a musician. That's how we know each other. We were in bands together, in high school, college time. But this attraction, I remember just going through it, loving the studio, like you said, loving just the rock music playing, and of course, my parents buying me a pair of drumsticks that said Aerosmith. They were probably way too expensive for drumsticks, but I still have them. They're actually on my wall in my podcast studio right now, and it was just amazing. And so one of the things that was really cool about this attraction was there were several different ride vehicles, and each ride vehicle played a different Aerosmith song or a couple different Aerosmith songs. Of course, the attraction was like barely 2 minutes long, so it was like cool little like snips, but it worked so well. So one of the ride vehicles played Nine Lives. Another one played Love in an Elevator and Walk This Way, which of course was the one that everybody wanted. Everybody wanted that ride vehicle,
I feel like that's the one I always got, because that's the one I remember most. And there were like live versions of them, right? Or it was just like they pumped in like crowd.
They pumped in like crowd sounds at the beginning and the end, because you're going to the concert and stuff. But it was so fun. Let's see, another ride vehicle played Young Lust, Fine, and Love in an Elevator. And then another one played Back in the Saddle and Dude Looks Like a Lady. And then the last ride vehicle played Sweet Emotion. So just fantastic songs, all of those songs. I was actually pre-gaming for this recording, just pumping Aerosmith, man, and just getting myself psyched to talk about Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh man, I love this one. And like I didn't get to find out what 0 to like 60 or 0 to whatever miles per hour you went, but it was so exciting because it was the crowd noise. You're sitting in there, and
the countdown with Steven Tyler.
Yeah, the countdown with Steven Tyler, and like it looks like they made it to where you're in like a back alley, and there's posters on like a grimy back alley. It was
in the back of the studio. Yeah, man.
Gosh, just such a vibe. And then at the end, there were a bunch of like old television screens where you could like see Aerosmith at the concert.
Yeah, the idea was you got there, you were backstage, and that's the screen in the backstage. You're standing right behind the stage watching them close out their show. So I always feel like, this is a super fast, super stretch limo, but I missed the entire concert. Like I got there and they're like saying goodnight. And I'm like, man, that was a fast limo ride, but I still missed it.
No, I got to ride it with my wife a couple years ago, and one of the workers there was like, "Hey, we're changing things." And I was like, "Oh, what?" It was the first time I'd heard about that. So secured a pin.
Of course.
It
Yep.
says Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster.
Need it.
Got hashtag gotta have the pin. Yeah, and I have photos in the gift shop where I'm wearing a rock and roll wig,
Love
and
it.
actually a Kermit the Frog shirt.
Oh wow.
So
So you kind of knew already, right?
yeah, yeah, I knew 15 years in the past
You
that
could see the future.
this
There you
episode
go.
was going to happen.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. So obviously, you're a Muppets fan, right? That's another reason why I brought you in the show because you're a music guy and you're a Muppets guy. So obviously, the Muppets created by Jim Henson back in 1955. The original show, Sam and Friends, premiered in 1955, and then they had just a slew of other shows. The Muppet Show in '76, Muppet Babies in '84. Jim Henson Hour in '89, and the list just goes on and on and on, right? And of course, Disney acquired the company for $75 million on February 17th, 2004. They acquired the Muppets, right? Not the whole Jim Henson brand, but specifically Muppets and like Muppet Studios. So, what was your connection, your personal connection to the Muppets?
I was thinking about this. My earliest memory of the Muppets is the Muppet Christmas Carol from
Hmm.
1992. Michael Caine, still one we as a family now rewatch every year for Christmas. I just remember it was probably like on like a VHS, I'd imagine, that we saw the commercial for, and me thinking, oh, that looks cool. I probably watched Muppet Christmas Carol. Oh my gosh, certainly didn't wasn't just only watching it at Christmas growing up. I watched that year round. And then after that was Muppet Treasure Island with Tim Curry. I watched a ton of Muppet Treasure Island.
Yeah, man.
Um,
1996. Great,
yeah,
great film.
so those two, I can remember like singing the songs in that, like walking around the store, like walking around like Target and Walmart with my mom, singing like songs from the Muppet Treasure Island. And so yeah,
Yeah.
so those two movies really set the foundation for my love of the Muppets. And then catching seeing like Johnny Cash on the Muppet Show,
Yeah.
Elton John, like musicians that I loved, talking to Kermit the Frog was a really cool and special experience growing up. So
Yeah. They were known for cameos, which is something we're going to get into in a minute here. But yeah, they had so many great TV shows, so many great movies. And of course, even more recently, the 2011 movie with Jason Segel was just amazing, mind blowing for someone who loves the Muppets. And then, of course, Muppet Haunted Mansion back in
oh
2021
yeah.
and just changed the game for like what Muppets can do with Disney properties. But for me, man, my love for the Muppets came from being a Disney fan. It came from Muppet Vision 3D, the
Oh
attraction
yeah.
at Hollywood Studios, RIP, man. It was there from,
R.I.P. Oh,
1991, and it just closed recently. And, that attraction really gave me a love and appreciation for the Muppets. And because it had the heart of the Muppets. That was the last thing that Jim Henson worked on for the Muppets, and it's such a shame that it's gone, man. R.I.P. And of course, Disney was trying to make us all feel better by saying, "Oh no, the Muppets aren't leaving the studios; they're moving the Rock and Roller Coaster."
yeah.
It's just not the same. But of course, that was my big thing, and my mom used to tell me that I would always carry around a stuffed Kermit, but I would call him Kermity, Kermity Frog. So he was my buddy, my Kermity, and so yeah, of course, lifelong Muppet fan here as well. I personally love what they're doing with the Muppets now in the parks. Recently, I went to a food and wine festival over at Epcot, and they have the Muppet Tasting Lab, which is this whole area
Ooh.
themed to the Muppets. And you have Dr. Honeydew and Beaker, and they're creating things for you to try. Like I tasted the what was it called? The unnecessarily spicy hot wings. with like Carolina Reaper pepper. It was ridiculously hot, as the name indicates, but it was just so fun being in like a Muppet environment and eating fun food. They had like the pickle milkshake and stuff.
Oh,
So I feel like overall Disney is doing a pretty good job with the Muppets. And did you see the revival that just happened, the Muppet Show revival with Sabrina Carpenter?
oh, it was wonderful.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was really a great show, and I'm hoping that they bring that back. And of course, the most recent TV show was Muppets Mayhem. It came out in 2023, which is kind of the basis for Muppet Rock and Roller Coaster that we're going to talk about in a minute. Did you watch Muppet Mayhem?
Yeah, it's funny. Like I went to my Disney Plus and searched it, and I had started it when it first came out because I mean it would seem like, oh, this is right up my wheelhouse. It's the Muppets. It's music. It's almost like a mini rockumentary kind of
Yeah.
deal, and I'm like, oh, this is right up my alley. I don't know why I didn't stick with it, but in prep for tonight, I watched a good pretty much half of that first season,
It's easy to
and
binge, man.
oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It is so funny. Some amazing cameos in there, which we could totally talk about in a little bit. But yeah, it's fantastic. If you haven't checked it out, if you're like me and you started it and didn't finish, go check it out.
Yeah, like you mentioned, it's a rockumentary. It basically follows Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem as they're going to record their first album, which is hilarious since they've been around for so long. They had just never gotten around to recording an album, and of course, the cameos and the comedy ensues. And I think it's a great premise for the attraction that we're gonna get over at the newly rethemed Rockin' Roller Coaster. So let's talk about that. Of course, the whole reason that we're here today is to talk about Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets, which opens May 26, 2026.
I cannot believe it's so soon.
Yeah, the turnaround has been wild.
Yeah,
What?
I was reading an article, and it said like it closed like March 1st,
Yeah, dude.
something like
Well, what's
that.
crazy is they close the pre-show ahead of time because that's where a lot of the work is going in. That's where they're adding some animatronics and whatnot. And really, the change that they're doing on to the track itself is pretty minimal. And they're bringing in a bunch of propping from the old Muppet Vision 3D to
Ooh.
fill out the queue and the load area. So it seems like a relatively easy changeover. The most complicated thing, it seems like, has been recording these songs. So, of course, for Rock and Roller Coaster, you need a new track list. So, the story for this new attraction is basically the same story that they had for Aerosmith, right? So, you're at GeForce Records, which is now under new management by the Muppets, with a little help from Scooter's uncle, JP Gross. So JP Gross bought this GeForce Records, and he's letting the Muppets kind of run things and record music, and that's a pretty funny backstory. And so it
I
brings Scooter in
I
as
saw
a
I saw Scooter's an animatronic.
as
It's
an
like
animatronic,
the
exactly.
first time that's ever happened.
Yeah, so that's going to be really cool. And so you're going to enter the recording studio, and the Electric Mayhem are going to be in there. And supposedly, you're going to walk in. You used to walk in hearing Aerosmith playing Walk This Way. You're going to walk in, and they're going to be playing Can You Picture That, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Great
iconic.
song.
That's the first song they played in the Muppet movie, 1979.
Yep. And they played it again in Muppets Mayhem while
Yeah.
they were like painting the house, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, really, really cool. Right off the bat, hitting you with the Muppets feels.
Oh yeah.
So I'm into that. And then, of course, you're going to be sent off in a limo, but this limo is designed by Muppets Labs. So it's called Limo, Limo, Lengthy Immediate Motion Object. And, that's why things go haywire, I guess, as they do for the Muppets. So very similar backstory. You're going to get sent off and you're going to go catch the Electric Mayhem at their biggest concert ever. And, what's a concert without a great set list? So this is it. This is the meat of the show here, Jake. Let's talk about this track list. So I'm going to run through it really quick and then we're going to break it down. So, song 2 by Blur, Born to Be Wild by Steppenwolf, Love Roller Coaster by Ohio Players, Rock Rock Till You Drop by Def Leppard, and Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves. And the Disney Parks blog article that announced this also hinted at the fact that the band has been working on some bonus tracks. So apparently we don't know all of it yet.
Okay.
So what was your initial reaction when you saw this list for Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets?
Well, the first song that was announced was Song 2.
Yep, that was announced
Right.
by itself, yeah.
Which I thought that kind of really surprised me. Because Song 2, I mean, Blur's kind of like an edgy band. At least this song is, Blur part of the Britpop movement of like the mid 90s. So you got bands like Oasis, Pulp, The Verve, and of course Blur. Yeah, so and if you ever heard the song, it has the iconic woohoo,
Course, yep. Which I heard in this version is going to be voiced by Animal. He's going to be the one doing the woohoo. So
okay, I kind of love
that's
that.
what I've heard. I love that. Yeah,
I kind of love that. Yeah. It's not necessarily like a deep cut, but it's kind of like, oh, okay, that's a rockin' song,
it's one of those songs for me that's like, yeah, that's a '90s song. Like it sounds like a '90s song, and like just kind of going with that. When I looked at this playlist, dude, I was like, did they just grab like a Guitar Hero box and was like that one, that one, that one, that one?
I do have some question marks, which is just because of the song themselves. So objectively, but that's not that we can talk about it more once we get to them. But there's some that were kind of head scratchers when I first. But I think Song 2 was a really strong start for an announcement.
It was. Not to mention that. Yeah, not to mention that he's wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt in that music video, dude.
Is he really?
Yeah, have you noticed that? That's another one of those like weird things where it's like, who knew that that song will be featured in a Disney attraction?
From 1997. Wow.
Yeah,
and like the video is intense. Like they're playing. It starts off with a really clean guitar, which is an amazing guitar.
And the drums.
Yes.
Yeah. Classic.
And then he kicks in like the band that like they're probably like on some type of like bungee string system, and they're like get blown around, and it's a very like rockin' intense video.
It is, yeah. I could see that on the ride though, man. I can see the woohoo right as you launch, right?
Knowing that Animal's doing the woohoos, I kind of really love that. But yeah, this one gets a thumbs up for sure.
Okay.
I'm excited for it.
And I have a question that's specific for you that I'm going to ask you for every single track, Jake. Okay, you ready for this question?
Hit me.
Do you have it on vinyl? Do you have this Blur record on vinyl?
I don't. I actually don't. So I'm an Oasis guy.
Okay. So you can't be a Blur and an Oasis fan?
Those are muddy waters.
Are you a Gorillaz fan though? Right. That's the same.
The Gorillaz are such. I think Damon Albarn is a really amazing artist. But I will probably seek out the Gorillaz over Blur and Oasis overall.
Okay. Got it. All right.
But that being said, if I ever found the 45 or the 12-inch single of Song 2, wouldn't hesitate, would pick it up.
Yeah. So one thing that made me laugh, dude, is there's a lot of new Disney fans out there. I'm not knocking Gen Z or any of these new generations, not at all. But I thought it was funny. They announced it. Oh, Song 2 is what they put out. And there's people like, wait, what's the song? Like, is it the second song? Like, what are we talking about here? Guys, the song is called Song 2. It's Song 2.
Yeah. I think that's going to be really cool for like those younger writers who maybe aren't familiar with Blur or like Britpop to hear this. I mean, it's an undeniably catchy song.
It is. It's so good.
Same way hearing Aerosmith on the ride on the Rockin' Roller Coaster would be like, oh, I'm gonna go listen to that.
I'm gonna go seek this song out later. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the idea. That's what got me into Aerosmith, man, was riding Rockin' Roller Coaster as a kid and then just gobbling up Aerosmith. I remember for Christmas, I asked for Aerosmith CDs, right?
Yeah.
I was a kid and I was just getting these Aerosmith. Probably I shouldn't have been listening to them. but it was great. So Born to Be Wild by Steppenwolf, 1968. What are your thoughts on this track, dude?
Oh, 5 stars. 2 thumbs up. Perfect for the theme of the coaster. I love this song. Born to Be Wild, like Nick said, from 1968 by the Canadian American band Steppenwolf, written by Mars Bonfire, amazing name, and appeared on their self-titled debut album. It was first popularized in the 1969 counterculture film Easy Rider. And fun fact, this song is actually the first song to reference the term heavy metal.
Really?
Yeah, so the lyric
Interesting.
the lyric is heavy metal thunder. And it's like that's kind of where the term originated from.
Wow, dude, I did not know that. I'm learning stuff on here with Jake. This is why I bring you on for music episodes, my friend. Awesome. Very cool. So the recording of this song with the Electric Mayhem is going to feature Camilla the Chicken. That's what it says. So I wonder, where are these strategically placed clucks going to be? I wonder. I'm very curious.
See, that's the thing I love about the Muppets. Like you kind of talked about with the food and wine, with the unnecessarily hot. It's like I don't think aloof is the right word, but just like the maybe it is aloof, but like just like the randomness, like throwing Camilla the Chicken in there and just sing Born to Be Wild. I'm here for it. I love it. I think it's so fun.
So my brain trying to figure out how is that going to work. It took me back to Weird Al Yankovic's cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit, where it just had all the weird sound effects. Do you remember this?
He's singing like with water in his mouth.
Yeah, and it's like and it's all these weird sound effects. Like that's what I was thinking. Like how wild are they going to make Born to Be Wild? But one thing that kind of gets me as a Disney fan about using this song in this Rock and Roller Coaster is the fact that Disney parks have already featured this song in another musically based attraction that is Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout in Disney California Adventure. So that's another attraction. It's Guardians. It's all about music. And there's a random song every time you ride. And one of the songs that they use on that is Born to Be Wild. So in my brain, it's like, can we not do repeats, right? There's trillions of songs in the world. Are you using this song because you already had the licensing for it and you just figured to use it again, or just because it's that good? I don't know. And maybe that's just me being a little petty, I guess. It's weird.
Well, it's interesting how that the Guardians of the Galaxy ride from Epcot is kind of, it seems like that ride is pretty influential as far as like the song changes each ride.
Right. Yeah. No, I say that's definitely something that they took from Rock and Roller Coaster, who kind of did it first. And had like the randomized track list, but that was depending on what ride vehicle you were on for Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. For Guardians of the Galaxy, it is supposedly just completely random. So it doesn't depend on the ride vehicle there.
Wow. That is
but
so
they have some
cool.
great tracks over there. I mean, come on, you get September by Earth, Wind and Fire. Yes.
We were lucky enough to ride it twice. We got I Ran by Flock of Seagulls in September.
Oh man, that's so good. My favorite song to get on there is Everybody Wants to Rule the World. It's a little slower pace for a roller coaster, but it's perfect.
I take it back, Lazaga. We didn't get September. We got Everybody Wants to Rule the World because I remember that's one of my favorite songs of all time. And I had no idea what this ride was. But when it kicked in, I remember it just like this like feeling of like euphoria coming over me.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, I'm so happy.
It works perfectly. So to have so many song-based attractions now with the two Guardians on either coast and of course Rock and Roller Coaster, I don't feel like they should be doing repeat songs, but what do I know? They had the rights. I guess they would use it again.
If that was the case, then you could have easily switched it out with another Steppenwolf song, which is Magic Carpet Ride.
Okay, I see the Disney tie in there. I see what you did there.
You could, it would have been cool. It's also a voyage type ride. You got the Aladdin there too. So yeah, totally.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what about Love Roller Coaster? So the version that they're doing for the Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets is featuring Jennifer Hudson and Questlove. Obviously, Questlove playing drums, I assume, right? But the original version was by Ohio Players from 1975. I know nothing about this band, dude, but I know the song. It's iconic.
Oh man, Ohio Players, like funk and R&B band. The song drops in 75. It's from their album Honey. I think this song is, I mean, just with like the name itself is a total like home run.
Yeah, the name
Um,
itself just wins it, right?
he's got that iconic guitar line, and it also has already proven to lend itself to reinterpretation. Like, so any 90s kids out there, you might remember this song from Beavis and Butthead, the Beavis and Butthead movie. The Red Hot Chili Peppers covered it.
Right,
And when
yeah.
the guys are dancing in the casino, to the song, and it's a great scene. Like it's a fantastic cover. So yeah, I'm really really excited for this one. Yeah, so far it's batting, batting 100, batting 1,000. It's 3-0 for me.
So you mentioned Red Hot Chili Peppers, which got me thinking, number one, why didn't they use a Chili Pepper song here? And number two, Disney has used the Red Hot Chili Peppers on a roller coaster in their parks before. In Disney California Adventure, the attraction California Screamin' had an overlay, like it was California, like Rockin' or something like that, and it featured the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Well, I mean, like I feel like if you're doing anything in California, like you got to have the Beach Boys, you got to have the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I feel like every other song by the Chili Peppers is about California, or it involves California in some way.
Yeah, pretty much. Uh, Dude, so what do you think of Love Roller Coaster being performed by Jennifer Hudson and Questlove? Does that do anything for you? What do you think of that?
We actually just watched Questlove tonight on Sesame Street with our baby. I
Another
know,
Jim Henson connection. There you go,
yeah.
Sesame Street.
I know if he's involved, it's gonna be, very high quality. He is just a next level artist, a drummer. And Jennifer
Yeah.
Hudson, I think they're both Oscar winners. Like like I think Jennifer Hudson
Wait,
won.
Questlove has an Oscar?
Yeah, he did a documentary.
Really? I
Yeah, he
did not know that.
produced. Yeah. And Jennifer Hudson, I think she won for Dreamgirls.
Right, right.
So yeah, just incredible vocalist, and artist, Jennifer Hudson, and so yeah, I'm really really excited to hear how they're gonna do the iconic roller coaster of love. Say
Right,
what?
yeah.
I can hear like I could just close my eyes and hear Dr. Pete
Ooh,
saying,
ooh,
"Say
ooh.
what?" Like
Yeah.
I
I'm
think it's
sure
gonna
it's
be
going to
cool.
be really great. So I love Questlove. I've actually seen the Roots in concert, dude.
Oh,
So
where did
yeah,
you see
Questlove,
them?
he plays drums for the Roots. He's also Jimmy Fallon's house band, right? So I saw the Roots. They played back a while ago. San Antonio, my hometown, hosted the Final Four for basketball, and they had a concert at Hemisphere Park. And the two bands that performed were the Roots and Fall Out Boy. And so, I went to
Oh,
that and it was insane. And just seeing Questlove live was everything, dude. That dude, he rips. And so, of course, Fall Out Boy was one of my favorite bands of all time. And at the time, I was just all about Fall Out Boy. So,
did the Roots headline or Fall Out Boy?
Fall Out Boy headlined actually,
Oh,
but it was incredible, man.
I saw the Roots, but I don't. It was a while ago. It was at ACL, the ACL Fest.
So Fall Out Boy, another band that has a Disney connection. Obviously, their song "Immortals" from the Big Hero 6 soundtrack. It's an amazing song, and it's featured in Disneyland during the fireworks show when you have Baymax flying across the sky from the
Oh,
castle, and it's such an amazing moment. And so when they were talking about how they're teaming up with different artists for the Rock and Roller Coaster overlay, I was thinking, could they do a Fall Out Boy song? Could this happen? It did not happen. But I mean, we don't know. They're working on bonus tracks.
yeah. I
So
feel I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
that would be right up P.
Right.
Wentz's
Plus,
alley.
Patrick Stump did the theme song for the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends
It's
on
it's
Disney
a
Junior, right?
it's a fantastic intro song, and then I mean, someone at Disney must be a pop punk kid because Mark Hoppus does Iron Man and
Yep.
Friends.
Yeah, that's it, man. So there's some like millennial pop punk fan over at Disney, and I need them to bring some of this pop punk infusion to this rock and roller coaster overlay. On the last episode we were together, we were talking about vinyl, and we talked about that pop punk Disney vinyl. Do you remember this?
Oh yeah.
And it has like Newfound Glory on it, Yellow Card. So, in my little pop punk emo heart, I was thinking, oh, could Rock and Roller Coaster feature any of these bands, Fall Out Boy or Newfound Glory or any of them? I was let down. But, it seems like they're going into more mainstream slash classic direction, right?
Well, I think just in a couple years, I mean, the music we grew up with is going to be that
It's gonna be
classic rock.
classic rock, right?
I mean,
Like
Blink
Blink
182
182 on
is
classic
already
radio.
yeah. But to keep up with the vinyl question, I do have Love Roller
Oh,
Coaster
I forgot to ask you
on
those
vinyl.
questions. That was my question for you, and I forgot to ask you. Yes.
Okay.
So, Love Roller Coaster, you have that one?
Have that one on vinyl.
And what about Born to Be Wild?
But
Do you
I
have
do have that
Steppenwolf
one.
on vinyl?
I have that one.
So you're 2 for 3 right
I'm
now,
2
dude.
for 3.
All right. So the next one, Def Leppard. They had to go with some sort of classic rock, right? They got rid of Aerosmith, so they're bringing in Def Leppard, and they're doing Rock Rock Till You Drop. What do you think of this one, dude?
So Def Leppard, one of the leaders of the new wave of British heavy metal, which was a term coined for bands like Def Leppard, Iron Maiden, and Motorhead, that were, had developed this sound where they combined, the heavy metal of like Black Sabbath, or the heavy guitars of like Led Zeppelin, with like the intensity of punk rock. So like that's what they call new wave of British heavy metal. This song is off of the band's 1983 album Pyromania, which I do have on vinyl.
Okay, there you go. All right, you're almost there, man. One more.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Def Leppard. This song, I get why it's included, but not my favorite Leppard song.
They needed the token rock song, right?
Yeah,
the classic rock song.
Which honestly, like if we wanted to go like with like a rock song, like from the 80s, for my dream set list, I probably would have gone with "Welcome to the Jungle" by Guns N' Roses.
Okay, yes, there we go. Yeah, we're definitely going to get into what we would have preferred in a minute, but I think that would have fit the bill probably a little better than Rock Rock Till You Drop. And I'll be honest. So I was reading this one, and I'm familiar with some classic rock and stuff, but I saw this title and I was like, wait a minute, what song is that again?
Yeah.
So I had to like get on my phone and listen to it. I was like, oh yeah, it's that one. So I'm wondering, is that going to be a song where people are writing and they're like, yes, I love this song?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be like, oh yeah, cool, that's the rock song?
Yeah. Yeah.
So as far as it like fitting, like thematically it works, but it seems like a little bit of a miss, right?
Yeah. I get it. Like I said, I think the band is actually Def Leppard is on this one.
Yeah, with the Electric Mayhem. Yep, featuring Def Leppard.
So that's cool. I guess it'll have to see what it's like when we write it someday. But yeah, you can't really go like Pour Some Sugar on Me, because that's kind of like the most inappropriate song.
Yeah. The little kids getting off the ride being like, I want some sugar.
Yeah, like absolutely. This one's not my fave, which that's just right now. Once I hear, the Mayhem's version of it, I might.
Right. That's kind of what it comes down to. Yeah. What it comes down to is how are the Electric Mayhem going to perform these songs? Like from watching the Muppets, growing up, and from watching the Electric Mayhem TV show, you can see that they put their spin on these songs.
Oh, yeah.
And any one of these songs could work really well, right? So it's almost like we're giving our initial reactions, obviously, but we don't know till we write it. I believe I'm going to be in Disney World in July. So I will let you know, Jake, how whichever songs I get. However, I don't know how many times I'm going to get to ride the attraction, but how did it turn out?
Yeah, we'll have to like report back. 'Cause like I said, like the Muppets are a set of characters that I have a lot of faith in, in their team. So Yeah, I'm gonna be open minded with it, which I'm gonna keep a super duper open mind for the final song.
Yeah, that was my thing too. A great segue there, Jake. So, "Walking on Sunshine" by Katrina and the Waves. This version for the attraction will be the Electric Mayhem featuring Kelly Clarkson. And yeah, "Walking on Sunshine" is not the
Oh,
song that you picture for Rock and Roller Coaster, right?
no, it's not a very rockin' song.
It's not rocking at all, I dare say. It's a very poppy pop song.
Super duper, and I mean, you got Kelly Clarkson singing it. Over the years, I've kind of like really gained like a like an appreciation for Kelly Clarkson as an artist, as a vocalist. You know, such a powerhouse.
But is
So
she a rock vocalist in your opinion? Like, does it work for you? Remember the attraction is rock and roller coaster. The whole thing is it's rock and roll music, right?
I will say Kelly can rock.
Okay.
I believe she can rock. But this song, I can't imagine how they're gonna like turn this into like you're rocking with the mayhem. This is like inherent, like kind of like an inherently like a not I don't want to say novelty song, but like kind of like it's always featured in like movies and TV shows during like montages where
Right. They're like a fun shopping montage or
yeah, or
something,
like
right?
my favorite is It's Always Sunny, like when one of the characters is falling in love, and he's
Yeah.
walking, it's so yeah, this was the biggest, like I had to do like a double take, like Walking on Sunshine. Okay. I always get this one mixed up with I'm so excited,
Right, right.
which probably would have been a better a
They would
better
have been
pick.
equally terrible choices in my mind. So Katrina and the Waves. Tell me about this band, dude.
Katrina and the Waves. So let's see. This is another song from 1983. The Def Leppard Rock Teardrop is also from '83, by the British band Katrina and the Waves. Kind of like a new wavy pop song. Yeah, my notes I just have this one is a head scratcher.
Yeah, it's a weird choice, and the Kelly Clarkson thing, like it doesn't really make it better for me. Like it's like, okay, yeah, I know who Kelly Clarkson is. Like I think Kelly Clarkson, I think like Jonas Brothers Year 3000, right? They outsold Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about this. I was kind of trying to figure out why would they pick this song. And then I was thinking, well, maybe each of these choices is supposed to represent one of the band members in the Electric Mayhem. And this song does kind of feel like Janice, right?
Oh yeah.
So, if you were to kind of put a different band member to each of these, like Rock Till You Drop, or I was gonna say that one for Animal, but I guess Born to Be Wild would be Animal song, right?
Right.
So, just maybe they're going with something like that. Maybe they're trying to find a track, a song for each of these characters, or maybe I'm just trying to justify a really terrible choice, right? Now, is there any chance where they just come out and they just rock this song, that they make "Walking on Sunshine" some like great rock hit, or is it just going to be a pop song?
They've got to. I think it's possible for sure. I mean, because I mean, with Kelly there, I have faith.
Distort the guitars a little bit more, maybe I don't know. I don't know if it could work, Jake. And I feel like it's kind of downplaying the name of the attraction, right? Rock and roller coaster. You expect to just have this experience, with rock and roll, like anybody did, for the longest time with Aerosmith. There was not one single miss on that Aerosmith set list.
Yeah.
They all, you get off the attraction, no matter what song you got, and you felt like you had your face rocked off.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen with Walking on Sunshine unless they do some serious work on it.
I know. I really, really hope they release the songs on like YouTube or streaming or something, so that way I can hear it, because I'm really, really interested in how this one is going to sound.
Yeah, and again, the ride time of the attraction is pretty short. I think it's less than 2 minutes, so it's gonna be some sort of shortened version of these songs with obviously some Muppets mayhem, right?
Yeah.
Muppet craziness happening during them. So maybe they'll do it in a way it's just short enough and it's just rocking enough that it works.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Did you mention? Do you have this Katrina and the Waves on vinyl?
Unfortunately, do not. I feel like if you were to throw this on at a party, it would be like, okay, all right, like because it's got the horns, and it's just if you grew up in like I talked about, if you grew up in the '90s, I feel like this one was like in all kinds of different '90s kids montage
Right,
movies,
and
like
commercials and like
commercials,
you
like
go to the gym to walk on the treadmill. This song's inevitably going to come on at some point. So the band is working on some bonus tracks. We have no idea what those could be, but we did come up with our own list, right? We decided, if Jake was creating the set list, or if I was creating the set list for Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets, what would the songs be? So you're my guest. I want to hear your songs first. How many did you come up with?
I have three right now.
Okay.
But I might in our combo might come up with more.
Because
Two
for
more.
me, man, I was like, I was trying to narrow it down to 5 to kind of match the set list here, and I couldn't, man. My brain just started like snowballing, like, oh, this song could work. Oh, this song could work, So, what do you got there, Jake?
Well, growing up a pop punk kid, playing. I'm sure we played this song together at least once over the years, and it's totally on the nose. But I would be so happy to hear Blink 182's Roller Coaster.
Dude, oh man, I love that song. That's a deep cut though. Nobody would know it. But
it would be like
you and me
would be like losing our minds, like, no way.
I mean, it's got roller coaster in the name.
Yeah.
And so over in Universal Orlando, it had an attraction called Rip Ride Rocket. It was a roller coaster, same kind of thing where they had songs that you could hear while riding it. And for a limited time, Blink-182 did a promotion with that attraction where you could type in like a secret code on the keypad and you can get all the small things and you can hear a Blink song on that. So I would love a Blink song. I was thinking, I mean, this is not on my list, but it did come to mind that maybe like the Rock Show or something, right?
Yeah. What's your first song that you would pick?
So this might be a cheat. I might be cheating a little bit, but I wanted to homage the original Aerosmith version, and I wanted to hear Electric Mayhem do Walk This Way.
Oh, I would love that.
Right? Just to bring it home, right? So all the old school Rock and Roller Coaster fans could feel like they're still being seen, And then for anybody else, it's just an amazing song that would have fit in anyways.
I love that. I part of me, it was when you said that there's a secret track, I was like, oh, that'd be cool if they did like an homage to Aerosmith.
Yeah. If it's not an Aerosmith song, I will actually riot, right?
So my second song is Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
Okay.
I think that song has such a driving beat to it, just a rocking guitar part. I think that would really add to the intensity of the roller coaster. I think that'd be really cool.
I love that. My next track was just one of the most epic classic rock songs of all time, More Than a Feeling by Boston.
Ooh, I love that.
Can you imagine riding the roller coaster and just listening to More Than a Feeling? Dude, yes. So much yes.
My third song, it would actually, I think it would work. It would be kind of be like too perfect. It would be Life is a Highway.
Oh, Rascal Flatts.
By Rascal Flatts from
and it's a Cars tie.
Yeah. I mean,
dude, yes.
Wouldn't that be cool?
So much yes. I'm not going to lie. That song popped in my brain too. It's too perfect. It's got the Disney Pixar tie-in already. It's a great song. It's about driving in a car, I love it.
What you got next?
I was thinking, it's Rock and Roller Coaster. What's more rock than Metallica? I wanted to hear the Electric Mayhem do Enter Sandman.
Oh, I was thinking of a Metallica song.
Which one?
I was leaning towards Enter Sandman because that's probably like the one to like. Oh, okay, this song rocks. Maybe like even like Master of Puppets, but that might be too intense.
little too intense. May Ride the Lightning, right? Something like that.
Oh my God, can you imagine? Like,
can you imagine? So I feel like Enter Sandman is that happy medium. It's like it's one of their more mainstream songs,
Yeah.
one of the Metallica songs that just everybody knows. And it's kind of like I always call it the entry point Metallica song. Like you want to get someone into Metallica who's never heard it, that's the first song you play.
I think that was probably the first Metallica song I heard, actually.
I mean that the Black Album or whatever, like that's amazing.
Amazing.
So good. What was your next one? Or you only had 3 though, right?
Oh, I got some more.
Oh, please do. Please do, Jake.
So I
We
would
need at least 5.
I would do Cars by Gary Newman. Here in my car,
Dude,
I feel safest.
that was one of my honorable mentions. Yes.
I think that'd be really cool.
I remember like the Fear Factory cover of this song.
Oh, but that's the one. That's the one I'm most familiar with.
Yeah, same. And that song it's too perfect, dude. Keeping with the car theme, man. My next one is another one that's almost too perfect. I Can't Drive 55 by Sammy Hagar.
Oh, yes. Oh my God, I forgot about that song.
What a great song. Of course, it makes me think of Back to the Future too, right? When he's like running through like the dystopian like Hill Valley and
oh man.
But that song would just be so perfect because you're going so fast and it's just a great rock song.
Oh, that's perfect. So my final song, I'll add on to that one with another Van Halen universe, Panama by
Dude,
Van Halen.
Yes, Panama or Jump maybe.
Oh yeah. Either one of those would work. Anything off 1984 would fit so well. I think they're just like songs where you just put them on and you just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're driving songs,
Oh yeah.
So I had 2 more. I had one more on my list that was pretty obvious, and then I had an honorable mention. So I was thinking, come on, Rock and Roll All Night by Kiss.
Oh, yeah.
It's perfect.
Well,
and they sang it in the Electric Mayhem TV show. So I love that. And then, I was thinking of how they're doing the Blur song from 97, and it's kind of that little more grungy sound. So, why not the classic Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Muppets did that in the Muppets 2011 with Jason Segel, or something like that.
Right. So good, dude. So I feel like you and I, dude, we just wrote a better set list than Disney did. I'm sorry, Disney. So one more thing, what is the Muppets without cameos? And so Disney has come in hot with the cameos for the queue of this attraction. So there's going to be some video cameos from some amazing people during this attraction while you're waiting in line. And I just want to talk about this list because it's great. So Aquafina, Danny Trejo, Darren Criss, John Stamos, Neil Patrick Harris. The next one has my heart. Travis Barker.
Oh man.
Yep. Yvette Nicole Brown, Wayne Brady, and of course the legendary Weird Al Yankovic. So I'm just so curious. What are these cameos gonna be? What are they gonna entail? I know they're gonna be hilarious, right?
Oh man, yeah. I love that they brought Trejo back. Aquafina's hilarious. I mean, I love John. John Stamos is always great. I mean, Weird Al, and of course Travis. I listened to Travis's audiobook, and I think he got into the drums because of Animal.
Oh, did he?
I remember. I remember that was a thing.
That's great. I love that full circle moment for him. Then I'm sure.
Man.
I mean, I would have been happy with Mark or Tom, obviously, but Travis Barker, he's such a rock star, dude. So to have him probably do a bit with Animal, it's going to be great.
I can see if they're anything like the Muppets Mayhem show, I can see these artists praising the band
for their awesomeness,
their influence, and I learned, which I always love when there's things like that. That's such a sweet, I'll love your content if you do that, that bit.
And it's funny because no one ever wants to wait in long lines at Disney, but I'm going to stay in that line until I see some of these videos. I'll let people get ahead of me until I feel like I've stacked them all. I need to see the Weird Al thing, right? Wayne Brady is such a legend, dude.
Wayne Brady's so funny.
So he worked at Disney for a hot minute early in his career.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has a Disney connection. So Jake, what are your overall thoughts on this Muppet overlay for Rock and Roller Coaster? Do you think it's going to be a win? Is it a wait and see kind of thing? What do you think?
I think it's going to be a win. I think it's really, really exciting that they're investing a little bit more in the Muppets, because it's such a rich, I don't want to say franchise. Is that the right
Yeah,
word?
franchise works, right?
It's such a rich franchise.
IP, intellectual property.
Yeah, with like was it like 60? Oh, no, 70.
Yeah, it's tons of history. Over 70 years.
Yeah,
1955, over 70 years of Muppet history.
I read somewhere that Kermit, like the original Kermit's in the Smithsonian. Like
Yeah, that's crazy. And
uh,
Disney's been driving the ship since 2004, man.
yeah,
So
and there's so much there. The I think the right word would be like irreverent, maybe. The Muppets they're like they're different, but like I think people see puppets and they're like, well, I don't like puppets, like, but there's the jokes are, there's something there for everyone of all ages.
yeah, I feel like, this opens the door for more people to experience the Muppets in a different way. It's sad that to get to this point we had to lose Muppet Vision 3D. That still hurts my heart. And of course that had broader appeal. It was able, no height limit, right? Anybody could experience it. So, now you have to be a certain height to experience the Muppets in Disney World. So, here's hoping they bring back Muppet Vision 3D in some way, at some point, maybe in that theater behind Rock and Roller Coaster. That'd be great. But, overall, I think this is going to be really great. I mean, there's a couple of misses there in the set list, but only time will tell how the Electric Mayhem and these special guests perform these songs and how they pull it out. So, I'm excited for it. Like I said, I'll be in Disney World in July, so I will check back with you, Jake, and everybody
Yeah.
else listening for my thoughts on that. So I want to bring it over to the audience really quick. What do you guys think of this song list? What were the hits? What were the misses for you guys? And I want to know, Jake and I both want to know, what are your ideal track lists, right? What are the songs that you would have picked for the Electric Mayhem to cover for Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets? Please let me know in the comments wherever it is that you listen. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on YouTube, and of course, Instagram, hit me up on Instagram. Hit up Jake. Dude, Jake, thanks so much for being here. This has been awesome, my friend.
Thanks so much for having me. This is a total honor and a real pleasure. Love getting to talk Muppets, but even more so when I get to talk with you, bro. So thank you for having me.
Yeah.
This is amazing, and I'm looking forward to your field report from July. It's going to be awesome.
Dude, absolutely. So Jake, let them know again, where can they find you? Tell your podcast, your socials, wherever they can find you.
Yeah, man. So you can find me at Sippin Mimos Podcast. We're on Apple and wherever you get your podcasts. We talk about rock and electronica albums and artists. We actually just finished up an episode on the Smashing Pumpkins. So if you want to hear us chit chat about Billy Corgan and crew, give us a follow. It's a lot of fun.
Dude, Jake, so this has basically become an annual thing with you, man. So, next year, I expect you to be on the next season of the podcast again. We'll find some other music or Muppet related topic to talk about, man. But it's always a pleasure having you on the Mickey and Minutes podcast. Thanks again, dude.
Thanks,
and to everybody else, thanks so much for listening, you guys. This has been awesome. Thank you for all your support in season 8 of this podcast. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks again for listening to the Mickey and Minutes podcast. If you liked it, tell your fellow Disney friends about it. Follow on Instagram at Mickey and Minutes, subscribe wherever you listen, and check out mickeyandminutes.weebly.com for more content.